just love the drama.
Biggest U-turn since winter fuel allowance.
Cut that.
Because loose lips sink ships.
And what the fans want is to stop teams being owned by madmen.
Listen, you're really making a mess here. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. We're getting really cross with you.
The sticky patch came when the rest of the team's sticky patch came, which was sort of January onwards.
Grumble, boobs joke, hot ones.
No, let me tell you, I don't have to look at this objectively at all.
The Wednesday week!
Put on your podcast!
Hello, good evening and welcome to another episode of the Wednesday week as the season trundles on and on as we circle the drain into the pit of despair that is League One and financial ruin. Welcome to the show. Joining me this evening, I've got Simon, Charlie and Ash, who are going to try and put a brave face onto the not one but two games that we've got to try and plough through this evening, and also some more financial irregularities that are going on in the world of the Wendy. God, Simon, I tell you what, how did you spend your weekend, mate? Football aside, did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was good. I had Saturday morning was fine. Ethan's been playing for AFC Emily Academy, was injured 3 weeks, came back, scored a stunning goal Saturday morning, then went to Hillsborough. And then I went to see Amy Winehouse tribute band on Saturday night, which was very enjoyable.
Where was that?
At the Chantry Brewery and Tap in Parkgate in Rotherham. And they were very, very good. And Chantry beers are very, very nice.
Not sponsored.
Although I did get told by a woman who found out I was a Wednesdayite that I shouldn't be in Rotherham, and the pub was only for Rotherham people.
Yes,
that sounds all right.
On a Saturday evening as well.
Yes, so I did remind her that she won't be playing us next season because they're shit.
Yeah. We will have both been relegated by then. Chasler, what about your weekend? All right, yeah.
I was helping out my friend who is training to be a PT, a personal trainer, and I got to be his little trainer person, and we filmed for what felt like 6.5 hours at the gym on Sunday, and I had to be on my best behaviour, no swearing. I was really good. And then we got home and we plugged the video in, and there was no pissing audio on fucking recording. So now I get to do it again next week. And I could have been swearing the whole time. So now I get to do another favour for my friend. So that's fun. Yay.
Chaz, can you throw over the video to us? We'll dub it. Oh,
yeah.
Can we?
Me nodding and smiling and then be made to do the plank and like little tears just like coming out my eyes. Oh my God.
I was going to say it had to be like a Jackie Chan movie. If you remember the old original Jackie Chan's. Really, really badly dubbed. Yeah. Or anybody of my vintage will remember a program that used to be on called Monkey. And that was really, really badly dubbed as well. Don't reshoot it. Let us dub it for you.
Okay. I'm sure that'll help him pass his exam. he'll feel really good about that.
I'll tell you what, boys and girls. Recently, Charlie has removed the ears from her headphones. Rather sadly, if I'm honest, because I was hoping to try and get some of those Japanese gamer guys coming in, and you were the appeal. But she spent the weekend filming content, so you know what I mean. I tell you what, we are slowly circling the drain with inappropriateness from Chaz in a really innocent way, and I am absolutely here for every one of it. Smashley, can you talk about your weekend and also talk to us about eggs as well? Because we've had a comment about that already. But in reference to your story there, Chaz, Stu's been on, said Dan dubbing it in the Chancery voice would be gold. I'm down for it, if I'm honest. Yeah,
I'll get him to send it over.
Yeah, look, she's lifted 10 pound with dumbbells. I tell you.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it was good, mate. Cheers, thank you. Good weekend, apart from the football. But yeah, it was great. You mentioned it there. It was the first day of our annual egg drop, and it went very well, apart from the rain and the war. But we got quite a few donations, and it was great to talk to quite a few people. I know Mr. Goose Creative's been on. He came and stopped by for a good chat, and so did Hong Kong Owls as well. Had a good chat. So yeah, it was good to see everybody. Thank you very much for the donations so far. Cheers, means the world.
I tell you what, Hong Kong Owls cornered me in spoons in Watford when we drew against them, and sometimes you forget that people might know your name, that you don't know theirs, right? You know what I mean? But also, you don't want to be racist, right? So you kind of go, like, he went, fudge. And then he started talking to me about what was going on, about Chancery and Takeover like that. And he mentioned a couple of interactions we had online and stuff like that. But I didn't want to be the guy that went, oh, you must be Hong Kong Owls, because that would be, that would be a hell of a leap, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Just to go, here's a man who's clearly from East Asia. Like, you know what I mean? but
because you need more excuses to get cancelled.
Right?
You were like, hey, you're not gonna get. I'm not gonna get caught. I will cancel myself. Thank you. I'm done fudge.
It felt like a News of the World sting from the early 2000s. You know what I mean? Like, but he did introduce himself. Who he was later on? But yeah, he's a top guy actually. Yeah. But listen, Ashley, we had tell us about the eggs in the interim and what the for, while we've still got everybody before we lose a load of viewers once we start talking about the football.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it was our eggs, so good to see everyone. Get yourself down for donation. Every donation you can win. Be entered to our raffle. Well, we've got 3 great prizes by. There's Mr. Meadows. You got a voucher for one of his shirts. £50 to spend in the Megastore, and a LED light. One from Kieran. If you've seen on Twitter, you know, I've not got it to hand, but I did bring it and I lit it up, but it was a bit light. So next week in the midweek game, I'll bring it and it'll all be on show. So nice and dark. But yeah.
Lovely stuff. All right, then. So as the week started, nothing much happened. We were still waiting to get over the line. We'd approached the 8-week mark that the EFL told us that it was going to be when we'd get a mention of the takeover and where we were in it. And earlier on that day, Simon, it was announced that James Board-led consortium had pulled out. Are we having that? Are we having that he pulled out?
No, I think what he's done here, I was thinking about sort of an analogy in regards to what he's done. He's the guy who's gazumped everybody else, hasn't he? You remember you used to have people gazumping you when you were buying a house. And he's come in and he's offered all that money. So he's gazumped everybody else. And then he's hoping then that when the surveyor comes in, the land registry and all this, he'll find some issues where we can knock it down a bit. And no, I'm sorry, but that doesn't happen in this game, pal. You know, yes, you should know that the footings are a bit dodgy on Knoll Stand, and you know we're not quite sure whether or not if we have a heavy bit of rain that we end up with an indoor swimming pool. You know, these are the things that you signed up way beforehand. We want your money, and then they've gone. We haven't really got that amount of money to spend, and you know, there's only so many hands of poker I can play to get that. So I've just put the Volkswagen Polo on black, and it came in red. So. I think it was only a matter of time before they got found out. But unfortunately, the administrators are bound to keep working through this until eventually they've gone, hands up, lads. And they've walked away stating, basically blaming the stadium. I think that was the main reason.
I think that, well, as daft as it sounds, right, that there is an element of truth to this, just to add a bit of balance. Now, the stadium, was first mooted at needing 250k spending on it. Then that went up to £500,000. And then after about 6 months, all of a sudden the stadium was going to cost £6 million. Like we had like a different valuation of it every time. Maybe the stadium was a sticking point. But Chaz, I feel this was an element of the administrators, right? Like, you know, let's talk about this in a proper way. The administrators have to take the best business plan, the best thing that for Sheffield Wednesday. They'd offered best part of £50 million, 48 point something million pounds. They have to accept that. They'd also put a plan in place at going forward. However, obviously comes with that is the EFL fit and proper persons test, which obviously calls into dispute or calls into scrutiny where that money comes from. And do you get the impression it was like those god-awful men you would meet in nightclubs in the 90s that would go, didn't even want to go out anyway, you fucking, and then insert slur for a gay female. You know what I mean? Like, it's got elements of that to it, hasn't it?
It does. It feels a little bit like you can get a bit of paper to say whatever you want. You can be like, yeah, I've got £48 million. And they'll be like, that's really cool. Where did you get that from? And you'll be like, huh? Yeah, where did you get your... Sorry? You want to... And maybe he's one of those ethical gamblers. I don't know. Like, maybe he's one of those
they're
cool
renowned
normal guys that's made all his
it.
money from gambling that I've been hearing so much about. I don't know whether there's something in this whole former business part of suing him thing as well. Like whether maybe he had the money, but then perhaps he's standing to lose some money. So like maybe he's like, I think I might be losing some of this, guys. I might be getting sued. I might be getting took off him. I just think there's no way the stadium could come as a shock if you have ever been to the stadium one time ever. Like, there's no way that you've spent all this time being shown around, being shown the special back rooms, being shown all. I mean, we all know you can stand in any part of that stadium on any night of the week and notice that there's issues. If someone gave you a good old tour around, you would know that they've even bigger problems. There's no way you suddenly go, I don't know, guys, I think this stadium needs a lot of work. That's not coming as a shock to you. I think that's a lot of nonsense, frankly. I think he sounded like a bit of a dodgy guy. And then someone's asked to look slightly behind the curtain, and I think he shit it. And he presumably didn't want to let it get to the point of the fit and proper, because if that was to sort of come out that from that perspective, it does probably then affect his chances of moving on to some poor other sad club that needs buy-in. So I think he's kind of gone, no, guys, it's not me, it's you. Actually, you've got like, oh God, I would never spend all the money that I definitely have. I would never spend it all here, but I have it. Like, don't worry. But like, nah, I've changed my mind. Because then that allows him to go off and find some other poor team. I would highly imagine that some of that money was maybe drawings of money that he'd like photoshopped in. So I don't know. It's just he's a gambler. He's a gambling guy. He's made all his money from gambling. That's not the old-fashioned way to do it. That's crazy. You're supposed to do it the old-fashioned way. Your dad owns a company and then he gives it you, and then you buy a football club for your son. Like good old-fashioned businessman. That's how it's meant to work. You don't gamble your money. That's crazy.
That's the way forward, because it worked for us well the last time, didn't it? Now we've had Phil Byers been on, and he says that that they had to show assets of 50 million quid to be allowed to participate in the process, which they would have done. You know what I mean? It's like if anybody knows anybody that's moved to Australia back in the day, and you had to have a bank statement showing how much money you had in your bank account, and then you give everybody their money back that you borrowed just for that screen grab. You know what I mean? It kind of smacked of that, didn't it? But they did also, Ash, put best part of 4 million quid into the club in a non-refundable deposit, which Sheffield Wednesday aren't culpable for, to keep it going, which I find like misguided confidence. Like imagine spending £4 million. So you've managed to convince yourself that you're going to get this club, and then not getting it and going, well, that's a write-off then. Like that is, does that sound like a tax fiddle to me or what? I don't know.
No, it sounds exactly like a gambler, doesn't it? Chasing his debts. You know, like you go on the roulette table and you put a tenner on black, and it fails, it loses.
And then all of a sudden,
then put 20 quid on there.
Yeah.
And then £40 on black, and then 80, and then 160, and you keep doing that. It just seems like that. But yeah.
Well, it might be 3 a.m. and you might be getting a bit of luck out of 20 neighbours by 5 at 35 quid a spin. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know how much the deposit was initially, but the 4 million is in total into how much is spent. It was 100 grand a week, I believe, something like that. It was banging into the club. I mean, yeah, he's pulled out, and I mean, you got to commend his pull-out game, because you don't want to be lumbered for 18 years with something, do you, that you probably don't want if you don't pull out. So he didn't want to put the rest of the money in, and so fair play to him. If he's thought about it, he's offered 48 million. But what I can't understand, and I don't know if anyone can answer this, is it was reported, weren't it, well before that it was this 30 million was the target for paying everyone off and not having this minus 15. And it was like everyone was going, well, he's not going to get 30 million. No one's going to pay 30 million. But then he's just thought, well, I'll pay nearly 18 million pound over the 30 million when
but
nobody else.
The transfer kitty, doesn't it? Don't that?
I don't know how it all works, but I'm sure
there's a way when you get took over, all of a sudden you get a cash injection, and that might have been the way it's done. You know what I mean?
This is what I was tried to allude to earlier. Is he's gone in and gone, I'll chuck 40. I'll throw in a figure of 48 million. That gets everybody else off the table. That's back to your gambling again, isn't it? And then I'll renegotiate it, because if we get far enough down the line, there's going to be a point where I go, sorry lads, but I found this problem with the stadium. I found that. I found this. Can I renegotiate? Let's drop it to 30 million again. He's already pushed everybody else out of the way, and they probably, at the time, if he'd gone down that route, Begbie's would have gone, oh, Christ, if we have to go for somebody else. But then I think also as well, I question the fact of this fit and proper. I do think that there is something bubbling in the background. The IFR were getting involved as well, who take over fit and proper from, I think, the 1st of May. And I think there were certain question marks. Obviously, this rumblings from this court case in the States. It all just started to turn really, really murky. So in all honesty, when it came out on Wednesday morning, how many of us were really surprised? Probably not many.
Listen, I was always... Go on.
I was going to say, it's giving that kind of like fake rich nightclub vibes, you know, like someone like hiring a fancy car, renting a fancy suit to like give the, and it's like, oh no, he was definitely flush with cash because he was popping loads of, 50s at the bar. And it's like, yeah, like the 4 million. Yeah, I've got 4 million, no problem. Well, you might have 4 million, no problem, but you don't have like 48 million, no problem. And I think it's dead easy to look flash than you are. And I totally agree. I think it's to get in the room, you just need to say a big number and to have gone above and beyond. And of course, admin are kind of duty bound to follow that. They probably maybe had an inkling right from the beginning. They were like, I think we actually have to follow this, but I'm pretty sure this is going to turn out to be bullshit. So I wouldn't be surprised if they hadn't, like, I don't know, almost had an inkling of this. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like you wouldn't just be like, well, I can't believe this didn't all work out. It all just seems so believable. Like, I think they are duty bound to just have to take it. If he says he's got it and that's the biggest and best offer, they have to follow up on that.
I think they have to take it. It's not for the best of the club, is it? It's the creditors.
No,
it doesn't matter what it's for Sheffield Wednesday. So if you say, like, he's coming in and said 50 million, but he's a bit of a bell end or whatever, if that's the best deal that is to pay off all the debts, they've got to take that. It's not,
got to do it.
They're not. It's not for the club. It's for people who've been owed money. Unfortunately.
And speaking of bellend, some of you guys have been on in the comments. Sorry, we've got gamblers gamble and sometimes they lose. It's what they do. Bob Roberts says never trust a gambler. Alex Neon Brown has said I've Begbie's actually rinse board for 4 million and run off laughing.
I hope so. That would be hilarious.
Seems that way. And then thanks for the 4 million from Jay Gately. Thanks for the 4 million from Phil Byers. Stu Williams has gone with, did they have an MRI to show all the organs available for black market sales as assets? Mad Woman's come with fucking nut job, 4 million spare cash. And then this one, and Blair, RIP, has gone with crypto's value is too volatile. Hasn't it dropped 90% value in the last month?
Spoken like a true gamer, knows what he's talking about. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, he knows. He
definitely bought shares in Hawk Tour coin. You know what I mean? So there we are. So as it stands right now, we're not back to the drawing board. So we did get a really lengthy statement from the administrator saying, look, it's not set us back to square one. We've got other irons in the fire. We had to take that offer. And I was a big advocate of trusting the process. I don't think I came out publicly and said, boards are wrong, and there was definitely question marks over him. But I feel like we jumped to conclusions with him over just letting things play out. And I think things have played out as they should have done. You know what I mean? If he was a wrong un, it's been found out. You know what I mean?
This is the thing with people wanting a resolution quite quick. Obviously, there is a process and there is things that can't be said and all this stuff. But something has happened. They've had if it is the crypto's gone down or he hasn't got the money, you're right, Dan, that the process has found that out. If it's the EFL or if it's the independent football regulator, something's happened or they've intimated that they weren't going to pass, like Charlie said, pass the owners and directors test, and they've gone, well, we can't afford to be shown to be wrong-uns. We'll drop out now. It's cost us 4 million, but it does give us a clean slate in the near future to take someone else on. Or it might affect is it Dunfermline that they own and the place in Spain, Cordoba? It may affect that in the long run. So they've thought, right, 4 million, we'll drop it and we'll move on. But for me, I mean, same as anything, whoever the choice is going to be, whoever is going to be in the future, it's not going to please everyone. There's going to be things by, if it's Mike Ashley, or if it's that Storch family, or if it's whoever, you're not going to play. There's always going to be an agenda or agendas, isn't there, from people. So I know it sounds a bit like burying your head in the sand and not wanting to act or do anything, but I'll just trust that process. And if whoever it is that does take over, they go through all these checks, and then in 5-6 years' time, they do turn out to be wrong uns. Yes, I know it's not the EFL that suffers, it's us fans and the club, but you've got to have something to trust in processes. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So
we can't afford to get on another crazy roller coaster. We actually can't afford to get it wrong again. Like, we are in the deepest shit that we've been in, and actually we can't hop back on like night train number 2 fucking going off the rails. Like, we can't do that.
Night train.
And I don't know what I meant by that. That was a weird,
we're on the midnight train to the poorhouse.
Doesn't even make sense. This is how much I know about finances. I'm like, listen, you got to get a good guy, not a bad guy. All right, thanks guys, peace out, mic drop. Don't get it wrong, boys. Get the numbers up, keep them up, calm down. All right, I'm out of here.
Kieran Maguire's shaking in his boots from that.
I think the thing is in this situation is that we don't feel it now, but I think we've fallen at the right time to get the right people in, because the number of clubs that have been questioned in regards to, including ourselves, how they've been badly run over the last few years. You've got Blackpool, you've got Leicester, you've got people looking at the likes of Manchester United, who are 30 billion pounds in debt, and still allowed to buy players. You've got the IFR, and also we've got the IFR coming in, who are taking on the fit and proper from May. You've got the EFL, because the EFL are really under the spotlight here. If they mess up again with this fit and proper, then they're going to be in the spotlight. So they're going to look at every infinite item of evidence. So the bad thing is that it's going to take longer for us, and we all wanted it doing yesterday. But the good thing is that the likelihood of us getting somebody fit and proper is more likely, because they're going to sift through every amount of evidence. And I think that's where we are. So you'd hope.
What a week. On Sunday, we lost the derby, got relegated. Wednesday, we're about to play Norwich in what's been a really tough, they're on great form. Then our preferred bidder pulls out. You know what I mean? And you know that meme where you go, Captain, it's Wednesday, that Tintin meme. Like,
yeah.
And then the interesting thing, right? I need to go back one, was Tuesday. It was announced that Kevin Beadle, the guy in charge of getting the people over the line, was given his marching orders. He was on a rolling month-to-month contract, and it was clear that they were going to come in with their AI model and their statistics model that they were really proud of, and so said to Beadle, "Don't need you, pal. Off you pop." And then board didn't get over the line. It was Cesc Nyoni, actually, the reserve team and Sheffield Wednesday player. Sorry, reserve team. That's really disrespectful. Sorry, Cesc. The ex-player Cesc Nyoni went, "Oh my God." I remember him posting on Twitter going, "Oh my God, he's actually going to use AI to find players," when the news about Beadle came out. And then fast forward 2 days, and then board's been pulled out, and then we've announced that Kevin Beadle's now staying with the club. This is mental.
I hope the collection, they managed to get the money back. Because imagine going around the office going, Kev leaves end of month. Yeah, Kev leaves end of month. Cancel that. Cancel
Who's
that.
Got his card? Who's got his card?
Pigeon or whatever it's called.
Bought vouchers already. God.
Yeah. I hope they went for Megastore.
I'll tell you what, Kev, if you are watching and you want to donate some of their vouchers for us to raffle off, we'll get right on it. Listen, there was just a couple of comments I wanted to pull out there. So Phil Byers has gone with us. We have no experience of an owner implying he had a bigger role in the company rather than his dad and brother actually running it. It is right. You know what I mean? This is new to us. Stu Williams has gone with, no one's buying us because they love the club. It's an investment. It's fucking bonkers, but still. And Jay Gately, and I think I want to get into this. Jay Gately has gone with, controversially, I do hope Mike Ashley buys us. He's had issues at Newcastle, but at least they weren't always solvent. He will want to make a profit, and the only way to do that is to invest wisely. Let's pick that up and maybe talk about some football after this.
The Wednesday week will be back soon. Oh, yeah.
I really wish we were recording Ash when that was going on in the background. If for those who can't see, we've got like 4 little screens of what's going on in our screens at the back, and Ash was giving it the full Aerosmith beans on toast kiss Aerosmith scream into the microphone. It was wonderful to watch. It was wonderful to watch. Now, I tell you what, then let's get into the football side. So Norwich came around. Predictions were lost all across the board. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 for Chaz, Holly, and Ash, who've all of a sudden gone sailing to the top of the league. And Stevie and Simon, they're thinking we might get a goal. So I was assuming you felt like something was going to happen this game, Si.
I just felt that we've started scoring again since Bannon's left. We've actually started finding the back of the net. And
don't start him off.
But we've sort of started finding the back of the net. So I thought that maybe we were good for one. I still went for the loss, obviously. We just seem to be creating a little bit more now, but unfortunately we're humongously fragile everywhere else, especially at the back, where we've got 2 of the most experienced players in the back 4, and we're conceding goals left, right, and centre, which is really, really starting to rile me. It's really starting to rile me that the lads who stayed obviously stayed for a reason.
What a time to be alive! I tell you what, I don't want to pick out every part in the. Excuse me, that's 2 windy pops a show. Normally it's just one. I don't want to pick apart every incident that happens in the game, but I do want to start, Chaz, with the lineup. But before I get into the lineup, I need to say something. We've just been relegated. Our preferred bidder had just pulled out that day, and for the amount of you crackheads that went down to Norwich is beyond impressive. Like. The gallows humor, the we're all in it together way that the fans have pulled together. Not the ones online, they're rubbish. The ones that actually go and watch the football. I am absolutely astounded what gluttons for punishment you are on a shitty Wednesday night after one of the worst losses that we've had to endure in recent memory that relegated us for you to travel. It's about 3 hours down to Norwich as well. And if you're getting on the train, it's about 5. But fair play to you. Fair play to you. Chaz, let's get into this lineup. Ike Yokbo missing. Dieng retains his place in goal. And then we've got Palmer, captain. Iorfa back. McGee, Adaramola, Heskey, Thornton, Ingleson, and Darla McNeil low. And a very young bench whoever's left, to be fair. Tell us about that first disallowed goal. Let's get straight into that. Let's not talk about the lineup.
I mean, it was a good goal. Yeah, it was offside, but that's not the point, is it?
Took it well.
He was offside whilst patiently waiting for our defenders to remember that they existed as sentient human beings and track back. I mean, it's just so hard to watch. Like, I think I wrote in my notes, what did I put? Oh yeah, that we might as well be cones. Like, it's like a training exercise. Like, bless their hearts, they might as well just be little cones to dribble around. It's really sad to watch, and that's all I've got to say. It's
tough.
No anger. There's no anger. There's not even frustration. Not really. It's just sad. It's just It's David and Goliath, but David just has not got a rock. He just has to stand there and get the shit beaten out of him week in, week out. I don't know. It's sad. Yeah. At least it was offside.
Clip that. I like that. Ash, let's not talk about football for too long. I think that's a great comment there that we've just had. But let's talk about the first goal. Now, Stevie's not here, so off your pop, pal.
No, I know where you're going with that, but I think it's look on the clip, on the highlight, and on the match. The standout is Palmer, obviously twiddling around in the area, not knowing where the ball is, and throwing his arms up and everything. But I think that's more out of frustration of anything, because it wasn't just Palmer. There was others. Iorfa was out of position. I mean, it was just a calamity of errors of defending. Incompetence, Daniel. Incompetence. So it is hard, and it's we shouldn't just single out anybody. It's just a shit show of defending. Ingles on the line. I mean, I don't know what he was trying. If he was trying to get his body between the ball and the attacker, and waiting for Dieng to come pick it up or something. I just don't know. It was just an awful event, shall we call it? But then I feel that every time we go 1-0 down, it's just inevitable. What was it, on the 31st minute? I think they scored first goal, and then 36th or 37th the second. But yeah,
and then that were it.
And that was it. And we didn't off even before that. We said it a few times that we started off 5-10 minutes. We've done all right. We've been there and thing, but just nothing for the first half an hour. There was just nothing apart from a goal for Norwich, and it's really hard. And I echo what you said about all the Wednesdayites that made the trip, because diehards and people who want to go and still support and watch it and pay for it, it's hard, and for them to get rewarded, should we call it, with that sort of shite defending, it's a hard.
Do you remember around Charlton when we played Charlton away and everybody started to talk about, well, I thought we were boycotting, you away lads shouldn't be going, when really it was a talk about, it was really a chat about TPP points, wasn't it? Really, when you really break it down. If they get more points than me that went down to Norwich on that Wednesday, fair play to you. You've earned them.
Without
You've earned them. You know what I mean? Now, look, they scored again. We lost 2-0. I'm not gonna pull at that thread too much. But I tell you what, there was something that Philippe Clement said, Simon, that I thought was quite respectful. And, there's as we keep taking the piss out Henrik Pedersen for saying he's proud of the boys, what does the opposition manager keep saying? Usually it's around the same sort of thing. Even when Chris Wilder was trying to be magnanimous in success, it was normally the same thing. But Philippe Clement said something that stuck out to me here. He said, we knew Sheffield Wednesday were a team that had lost a lot of games, but by only one, maybe two. We knew it was a massive game, and we could not underestimate them. Now, that for me is a great point. I don't think you can underestimate Sheffield Wednesday. As soon as you start going in with complacency, that's when we've done you for a draw, or we're only going to lose 2-0 to you that day. You know what I mean? That's tells you. But I feel there is still a bit of fight. This team is capable of something, but the morale is so far on the floor that this has become a psychological issue, and it has been there for about 2 or 3 months. Because personally speaking, I think at the start of the season, when we beat Pompey and we were getting a couple of draws at the turn of the year, there was a little bit of capitalization on us being on the front foot or competing for that first hour. But if I get the statistics up for Norwich, expected goals 0.5. Against Saints at the weekend, 0.78. It's fucking embarrassing. It ain't good enough. You know what I mean? But I think it's more a psychological issue than ability now.
You've got to feel for Pedersen, whether your question is technique, management, ability, etc., is the fact that he has to get that group of lads on a Monday morning after a Saturday game and re-motivate them for the next game. That he has to get them training, he has to get them applying themselves, because it must be bloody difficult, because, you've got people there who are constantly being outplayed. And in regards to the Norwich manager's comments, it's dead easy to make comments like that when you actually battering a team, 2-0, 3-0, a team's losing, 10, 11 in a row. It's easy to be nice about a team, knowing for the fact that, to be honest, it was like a training game for Norwich. Like Charlie said, we were some cones that they were passing around. Unfortunately, I think the cones were on the M6 at the time. This is like it's easy to do that because we're not getting in it and we're not being horrible. We're not being, we're just the whipping boys of the league. Do I seem to remember that at the start of the season that the EFL said we should have a competitive team? We ain't got a competitive team, have we? And it's not a competitive team. And it hasn't been one for some time. But now it has got to be a mental thing as well as a ability thing, because how does he pick these players up? How does he pick these players up? They go to Norwich. I would imagine, I hope they stayed over on the Wednesday night. They come back the next day. They've just got beat. You've got young kids in there who are getting beat every week. And whatever they do, they can't do right for doing wrong. How does he pick them up? How does he do that? And I think hats off to him. He's got to be proud of the fact that they turn up with the boots on a Saturday or a Wednesday night and actually turn up, because I know it's very much, they've been paid so many thousand a week, but in all honesty, they're not being paid that much, these lads, compared to who they're playing against.
Was it 19 grand the wages for the week against United in the starting 11?
It's still so depressing for them. Like, I think, all right, they get paid to do it, but they don't lack individual talent as well. Like, not one of them. I don't believe any of them lack individual talent. What they lack is depth and cohesion. Like, they've not played together properly like this. And there's no such thing in football as trial by fire. It doesn't work like that. You don't get better in football by effectively just having like rocks thrown at you until you can dribble better. Like, it doesn't work like that. We are not able to develop them. They're not getting minutes in the legs. Oh, they're getting senior that's not how it works. They're not being looked after properly, a lot of them. And it's like, when you think earlier in the season, yes, we still lacked depth. So we were still not doing brilliant, but we still had a decent amount of senior players in there who, all right, things were going against us, but you still had players who were used to playing week in, week out at that level. Now we basically don't have any of that. Of course they're getting bad. Yeah, it's shit to watch, but like, Jesus, imagine how it must feel on the pitch. At least we can, we technically can look away. If I don't want to see it, I actually can turn off my screen or not go. Like, they actually go in.
Chaz, the movie Step Brothers, where they're having the job interview, and the bit that really made me laugh was where John C. Reilly pops his head round the back of Will Ferrell and goes, "Hello, Miss Lady." And in that bit, they're going for a load of interviews, and they're being interviewed by Seth, what's his face, aren't they? And he goes, Seth Rogen, I like the tuxedos. It's weird. I like it. And then as soon as he farts, he goes, "Oh yeah, the tuxedos mean something else." Do you know what I mean? And it's the same as me saying "well done" to the fans going down to Norwich. Like, yeah, fair play to you. And then now when they're being subjected to that, oh no, you're actual nutcases, aren't you? Yeah. It means something else now. You know what I mean? You're actual crackheads.
I reckon that must be the only thing that gets the players going as well, because at the end, it's like everyone, like all the football media, isn't it? It's all like, oh, Sheffield Wednesday fans, despite the fact they've just watched another crock of shit and they've just been relegated, they're there clapping, and you go, yeah, of course they are, like, because they're insane, but also because they're dedicated to the team. And do you know what? That's probably the only highlight in those poor lads' week is when they look up and see that all the nutters have stayed behind and clapped him, because I tell you what, it's a thankless bloody job. And it's not like normal jobs where you can just go, oh, screw it, I'll quit, I'll go. So it's like, it doesn't really work.
I tell you
like
what,
that.
like, big shout out to Liam Henderson who watches the show and comments, and Matt Sumhill. I know there are other people out there, but those are the two that I noticed because they're in my circle, and they put pictures and comments up when they get to these grounds, and Christ Almighty, like, I'm looking at them and go, what an absolute hero, but also, get a hobby, take up gaming or something. You know what I mean?
Get checked.
Between you two, have you done enough of slagging off our watchers and listeners?
I love them.
Call them insane crackheads.
I love them.
I think it's brilliant.
I love you, insane crackheads.
What's more insane than being 4 people on a football podcast for Sheffield Wednesday? What we're going to talk about today, lads? More points dropped, more points not got, more relegation pulled out. This is the definition of insanity. This little square of mental that we've got going on here. This is crazy. This is optional, entirely optional.
Well, and we haven't paid for it though, have we? They've paid like God knows how much, 40 quid.
I'm paying, not in money, but I'm fucking paying for it. Let me tell you.
I'm not currently sat in Norfolk, so it's I think it's going to become a thing. I think it's going to become a thing. I mean, I know we sell out most games nowadays, but I think now to the end of the season, the away support is just going to get bigger and bigger and more vocal. And I think as well, if it carries on from, I mean, we haven't spoken about the Southampton game yet, but the T1 Massive, as they are, I thought they were brilliant on Saturday. They sang all the way through.
Legends.
And they were legends. And I
T1
think that's
was
going to become a thing as well.
Fair play to him. I kind of like it. I mean, to give you a peek behind the curtain, Shaz, on what you were saying, I've been doing some filming this week for a bit of media filming, and they get me with all these content creators. They paid for lunch. We went for Nando's, old tight. It's big fucking news, this kids. But they got me in like this debate show where I was talking with a load of fans from other clubs, and they were all Arsenal, Chelsea, City, United. You know what I mean? Why I was there, I must have just been there on bants and vibes, like, you know what I mean? And they start moaning about how terrible it is, like especially the Spurs one, and then they kind of look at you and go, "Oh." You know what I mean? They go, oh.
You're like the children in need advert, when they need a bit more money, so they put a really sad video on just to remind you why we're doing this. It's like just to remind you to be grateful. Your little tiny Tim just there to remind everyone just to be really great. It could always be worse. You could be Dan, and Dan's there like little fingerless gloves on and a little cap, and just like with no points.
Lenny Henry just hovering behind me, going, "Look at him."
Please,
just
GFL,
£5
I
a
want some
month.
more.
Yeah. Poor Dan.
For just £30 million, you can put Dan out of his misery. Please buy our stupid fucking club. Please.
It cuts to Dan sat on the high street in Hammersmith outside Gales. Poor Dan. If he
can only afford one soy caramel latte a week. He has to walk 4 miles for one. Get him through the well. But I tell you, it's been a hell of an experience, right? It really was to have all these, all the proper filming. I've got like a camera, I've got like a mic on. That's a dangerous thing. Constantly being mic'd up. That is terrifying. And go on.
What were you debating, Dan? I know you might not be able to give it away, but what were you debating? Shit owners or?
Yes, that was one of them. I was debating shit owners. Has money ruined football? So we had to go back and forth.
So he was like
that with a City fan.
Yeah. So Dan's into debate shit owners, and it's like it's Jeff from Man City. He's coming, and Dan Sheffield Wednesday. Jeff went. Yeah, fair play, governor. You don't even have to say anything.
You win.
Well, this is it. Like, you have to
There's no debating shit.
And you have to stand your corner. And like, bear in mind, obviously, because of the investment, Man City have been really successful. And you don't want to go down the route of going 115 charges. You like go, I'm funnier than that. So I plump for Timu Andy Goldstein doesn't know what he's talking about. So that's going to get cut, isn't it? Best gag of the day. But we'll see how that goes. That's going to be fun. Anyway, let's talk about Southampton. So Saints' predictions here were 3-0, 2-0, 2-0, 3-0. John, speaking of crackheads, John just went.
John thought we were going to score 2 goals. That's like 5. Yeah, he thought we were going to score at Hillsborough. He thought we were going to score 2 goals at Hillsborough. Two own goals. Yeah, maybe.
He's sleep deprived.
Goals.
He's sleep deprived.
He's absolute.
He's off his head. He's off his head. Simon, give me a brief rundown of that, and let's move into summertime. What did I say? Hot topic was going to be? I said it right at the start of the show, and I've completely forgot.
Mark Ashley.
That one. Let's do that. Simon, give me a rundown of this, and let's get into the Jardies.
Just a rundown of the game.
Yeah, fuck it. I've had enough. We've done a goal.
Yeah, we've done a goal, but set piece coaches, or lack of, or the inability to defend set pieces when you don't have a set piece coach. I remember when these people didn't exist, and we used to be able to defend corners and free kicks. But what is it? 2 corners, 2 goals, and a free kick where what was the wall doing?
There was no wall. There was no wall there.
No. And then we scored. And actually, I thought I enjoyed the second half personally. And we nearly scored again.
Yates nearly scored again, but got imaginary sniped.
Yeah, yes. He fluffed his lines.
He remembered he plays for Sheffield Wednesday and thought, shit, I better not score another goal. Christ, that'd be mental.
Tell you what, I like that Jerry Yates has got lovely teeth.
And I enjoyed the second half, and Southampton weren't all that, but we lost 3-1, and there you go. T1 sang loads. I thought the pitch looked very nice. And yeah, well, that's one bonus this season is we haven't got a shit pitch, have we?
No, that's true.
Yeah, because there's
Nice
not
and
been any
clean.
football played on it. It's just been hoofing and running.
And that sums it up for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I a couple of people talking about this goalkeeper, about Dieng. Now, sometimes he looks an absolute world beater, Chaz. Other times he's just getting done on his near post.
He's all or nothing, isn't he? He really
Yeah.
is. In the same game, he's one of those really quite. He's kind of got a Beadle of him in a way. Beadle was a bit like that, particularly towards the end, where he'd either pulling off some really decent. You're like, oh Jesus, keeper, and the next minute he's like a football, and like sort of throwing it in the net, which is quite strange. It's the hardest job in the world though when you're a keeper that can't trust your defensive line. So I mean, really, like he's just like, it was. Yeah, I think it's really funny we scored a goal. Does anyone else think it's really funny? Like we're randomly scoring goals in the last couple. Like
Again,
that's
another
really
Will
funny
Ferrell
for like
film.
no
I don't know
reason.
what to do with my hands.
It's just like, yay! Obviously, it's great, and it's like it's lovely for him, and he'll always remember that goal when he's long since gone to play for someone who's not shite. He's like, oh yeah, Sheffield Thursday, I think it was. I scored a goal. That's fun, good times. But like, I don't know. It's just there's been a lot of times when a goal would have actually got us a point or like even a win, and it's just like nah. But we'll just randomly score a goal against Southampton for nothing. I just think it's funny. Even scoring against United on the Sunday, just like, we'll just score a goal. Like it's not going to matter, but we will just score a goal. I just think that's funny. It's way too little too late, but it's just, good for him. It was a good goal. We'll dive and header for his D's.
Ash,
Josh Windass
wrap it up if you've got anything to add, and then chuck some comments up as well, brother.
Yeah, we've scored 3 in 3 of the last 4 games. There's a stat for you. Look at that. Look at that. Stat master.
Ash stats. Yeah. Ash used to do the pie reviews. Now look at him. Now look at him.
Well, should bring them back, shouldn't we, really? I think. It was. I wasn't very confident going into it, obviously, by the 3-0 prediction and all of us lot predicting a loss. So, they're in some good form. I know with your hello from the other side, Dan, it was really good. Spoke with Martin, who I did meet as well on Saturday. He came round. He didn't, but he did a bit of filming for his channel and stuff, which was nice. Nice of him to have a chat. It's just the inevitable, isn't it? It doesn't matter who's coming, who's playing, who they start, who they rest or anything. It's just the whole... I think we're just going through the motions and waiting for the season to end and trying to get there in at least
embarrassing fashion.
Thank you. Yeah, no. I think it is, and we haven't. I know some of the predictions we've had before, but we haven't very rarely been battered 3-0, 4-0. No. It has been by 1 or 2 goals, and we have been competitive in at least 25 minutes of that game. Do you know what I mean? I know you've said you've had a big thing about for the last 60 minutes. And one thing I really do, and I'm sure a lot of people probably feel the same as this, but why are you bringing like the likes of Granger on 89th minute?
Doing nothing for him.
Doing nothing for the poor lad. He came on at Norwich, was it? And then he came again on Saturday for 2 minutes. Come on, get him. Yeah. Look, 70 minutes. Chuck him on for 20 minutes. We've seen what he can do in the cup. We're losing 3-1. We might as well just go for it, haven't we? Yeah. It's starting to pee me off a little bit that we're saying we've got these youngsters that are going to hopefully kick on next season with us, and we're not going to give them any sort of minutes. So, that's one thing from the game that I was disappointed at. But other than that, I thought the second half was a lot better. I thought we had some, like I said, we had some chances as well, which we have very rare. It's, and I think that I thought Ingelsson, again, was probably one of the standout players. And I think in the last 2 months, I think he's our best player now, isn't he? He has proper took on that scruff, and I know he showed a bit in the derby, and he did again on Saturday. He showed a little bit of bite and a bit of needle, and I think I think I've been impressed. I have been impressed with him since he's been here. I know he's been very fits and starts, but I think there is a player in there, and he's just not going to be here next season, is he?
Who knew he could take a corner as well? I mean, all those
corners,
months
stupid
we've
sexy
had a
bastard.
player who couldn't beat the
Can't
first man, and then he comes in, starts taking corners, and he's bloody brilliant at them. Just we haven't got anybody in the box who's any good at putting it in back of the
Everyone's
net.
short.
Dominic
All
Iorfa,
short.
and we're missing Michael Smith, but I don't bring him up because Chaz will just start crying on the internets. I'll tell you what, let me just go through these last few comments then. So earlier on, we're talking about EK Ugbo's omission. Neon Brown said, Henrik said that Ugbo was missing on merit, which I kind of liked, although someone had to stay at Hillsborough and clean the bogs. And then Goose has been on. He said, I think it's the decent pitch that's doing us. Played on a crap one for so long, it's thrown them off.
Traction.
And then better pitch than they've got at Bramall Lane from Paul the Astronomy Owl, which I kind of like. Astronomy and Sheffield Wednesday. He likes things out of this world. That's the best.
Well done.
This time of night. And then Craig said should be, and then we're talking about Dieng and his goalkeeper prize. I noticed a few people are starting to make comments about it. Shouldn't be getting beat at his near post. We sat right behind it, could see it a mile off. And Paul the Astronomy Owl said, sat in the grandstand, saw the free kick shot coming a mile away. It gave him a barn door to aim at. What a lot of phrases that were bog standard phrases that were just all panned out. But then also we've had a couple about Svanti saying, is Svanti a good player or is he just less shit than the other 10? That's exactly correct, Stu.
Same thing for us.
And then Craig's gone. Svanti could make a good captain, in my honest opinion. I think you're right, especially that he gave Sidey Peck the shits. Did you see my shithousing from the TWW account, Ash? Did you read the comments from the Sheffield United fans? They were spitting, weren't they?
They were. It was. It's not something that we engage in that often, is it, Dan? I do try to stay away from all that, trolling and just engagement beige rating and all that bollocks. But I looked at it and thought, yes, everyone knows that's not going to be from Ash. So I was happy with that.
That's all that matters.
It is, yes, Charlie, you're right.
Well, what it was, I was at a job interview last week. So you tell when I'm going for a new job because my Twitter account goes on private, right? And I thought, this is too good a joke. So there's a little video there. There was a video there of this bloke shitting himself on the pitch, and it said, "Do you remember when such and such shit himself on the pitch?" And I requoted it with that picture of Svanti with his hands on Sidey Peck going, "No, but I remember when Sidey Peck did," which is an elite gag.
It's a great gag. It's a great gag. If someone had made it against us, I'd have said it were a good gag.
Yeah.
It's a poo joke. Everybody loves
poo
poo
like
joke.
a shit joke.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and you're king of shit jokes, Dan.
Whee! Get out.
Are you trying to do trailer friendly quotes now, Ash, to get in the credits next year? Just everybody firing abuse at me. I like it. I like
Better
it.
than the winter fuel allowance, isn't it?
Yeah, let's have some adverts and let's talk about Mike Ashley.
Don't go anywhere too far. It's only time for the adverts.
Hot topic.
Don't give anyone time. Don't give anyone a chance to just straight it down.
Cheers. Blow your speakers on your flat screens. That's what's happening. Simon, it's very simple. Would Mike Ashley be good for Sheffield Wednesday? I'd like your comments from the outside there. Let's go through the comments while the team discuss. Simon, you go first. Pull the thread on it.
Yes. Yeah. The guy. Let's get the Newcastle. Let's get this Geordie Premier League. We deserve winning everything because we're Newcastle and we're the best supported team in the Northeast. Let's get that out of his heads and let's go down the route of the fact that he took a football club that was ailing and then created a mega football club that increased their support. After the Keegan years and the John Hall years, they were in the doldrums, and he's brought them back and created a team that effectively a Saudi country bought, and now they're playing in Europe and so on and so forth, right? And the players that they had were superb players. We can only dream of it. He takes failing business. Bear in mind, this is a man who takes businesses from the high street, and everybody keeps saying that the high street's dead. So he takes Fraser's and creates a company that was on its arse into a profit-making company. He basically changes the way people buy. He to take Wednesday on, he's going to take Wednesday on. I think somebody said it earlier on. He's not going to take Wednesday on because he's a Wednesday fan, because he's not. I don't even know who he supports. He takes it on because he wants to invest in it and then sell it further down the line for a profit. And the only way he can do that is by investing in the club. He can't carry on he can't do the Chansiri, sorry if I mentioned his name, model of just spaff it on loads of players and not invest in the training ground, in the academy, and in the actual stadium, and hope we get to the Premiership. He will actually look at a way of just basically, we need to invest in that. We need to improve the training ground. We need a new training ground. We might need new ground, because at the end of the day, the team is only worth so much, as in we've just been told they've pulled out of buying the club board because the stadium's on its arse. So there's no value there. So yes, he would be a perfect fit for us.
Chaz, Simon pulled at the thread there of making it a viable business proposition, something that I accused Chansiri of on this very show about 3 years ago, saying he won't let us fall to shit. It would be mutually beneficial for the club to do well, ergo he will himself. Essentially, the question is Mike Ashley a better businessman than, and I'm going to quote the way they say it on BBC Sheffield, Dej von Chancery?
Yeah, of course he is. He is. There's no good guys in football ownership. Not really. There's guys who are richer than other guys, and there's people who are better business people than others, and that's really what it comes down to. I think he's shrewd. I think he's a shrewd businessman. I think, like you say, he's not just going to pump loads of money willy-nilly and just try, like, the biggest problem with He Who Must Not Be Named is he didn't really broadly fully understand how any of it worked. Not really. He was like, spend loads of money, go to Premier League. Like, there was very much that it was like A to B, A to B. And when A to B didn't work, it was like, holy shit, we have no plan B. Mike Ashley doesn't have that. He does fundamentally understand how a lot of this works. I'm not thrilled about the -15 next season. I think ultimately he will be a tight git about a lot of stuff. But I think he'll probably spend money in the right places, because everything he's going to be thinking of is profit. So we're maybe not necessarily going to get the warm, cozy club that we might have got with someone that's kind of got a shitload of money out there that's going to sort of throw it all into that in kind of fan engagement level of stuff, which is a shame, because I think like the way admin came in and kind of recognized immediately that fans needed a bit of TLC, I thought was great. You're not going to get that with Mike Ashley. He's like that boss that nobody really likes at work, but they kind of get everything done. They're like, Jesus, you won't go to him for a cup of tea and a chat, but he's going to get it done. And I think that might be what we need. I also think we are going to get to a stage where I'd rather have a Mike Ashley than an unknown random multi-billionaire crackpot that has, he's got loads of money, he could do loads of exciting stuff, but he doesn't have the experience. I do think we need gentle handling now. Will he be the owner for us for the next 10 years? Maybe not. Like, maybe it's not I don't think he's that kind of guy, but I think ultimately he's going to want to make money off this, and he is not going to waste his time on something that won't make him money. So yeah, it's a yes from me.
It's a yes from Simon. It's a yes from Chaz. Very good arguments. Very well put across. Ash, the comments are quite torn as well, aren't they? If you want to have a look at them.
Yeah. Stu Williams, Ashley will make us better than we are now. Facts. Cheers, Stu. I'll send you £10 next time. Yeah. Jay Gately 76. What's the betting that if Ashley does return, and I hope he's bored not doing his betting, Steve Bruce returns as our manager.
God.
Paul, the astronomy owl, I'd take him, but would prefer someone who doesn't want to flip us for profit. But I think if we understand that, I mean,
you'd have to make it a viable business to flip it for profit.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to be flippable. Wouldn't that be nice? Sounds great. Don't clip that.
Ash composed himself whilst I make it. While Ash makes a note of the date and time for that. The credits next year. We've got Sheffield is red up the blades, making a reference to it can't get any worse, can it? And he's gone with it can. Thanks for watching.
That's the gag. That's the joke.
That's the joke. Go on, carry on, Ash.
Yeah, so Wickerman, I'm torn on this one. I'd rather somebody that wants us to be their club, but it's true that Ashley didn't really do any wrong while at Newcastle. He just didn't do anything right per se. Mm-hmm. So I suppose I know you put a little clip out, didn't you? Speaking to a Geordie fan earlier last week, late last week, I think it was. And he wasn't very complimentary about Mike Ashley.
It was still relatively measured, wasn't it? So the guy is called Matt Renford from the Magpie channel. If you want to have a look, and I thought, do you know what? Somebody with a bit of experience. I tell you, who I should get to speak about it is Coventry fans as well. He was involved in getting Coventry their stadium back, and actually they speak quite highly of him. So maybe a more learned, more round the block Mike Ashley might be better. Rather than the one that got Newcastle relegated 16, 17 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Rangers fans, I don't know the whole backstory of that, what happened, but they're not very complimentary of him. So I think you're gonna, like anyone, we said you're gonna get.
Oh, let's do a Mike Ashley special, Ash.
Oh, if he is gonna be the new owner, then they would be well.
If he gets announced, we'll do a Mike Ashley special. We'll get Rangers, Geordies, and Cobs on.
Oh, like a debate show. Like, come on, you tell us that.
Don't get Coventry City fans on, for Christ's sake.
Ash, you can host it because your name's Ashley. You know what I mean? Ashley special. You know what I mean?
And then just have my ugly mug on the front.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think the thing is that football fans, as we know, aren't rational people. None of us are. We're very much run by our feelings and our hearts. So this whole Mike Ashley, he didn't do good things for Newcastle. Well, all I can see is, yes, he did. Spend a season in my shoes, Newcastle fans, and then you'll go crawling over glass in shorts to have Mike Ashley. This is the thing: is this expectations? That Sheffield, Manchester United fans hated the Glaziers, but at the end of the day, the players that were on the pitch and what was going on the pitch was amazing. And again, as a Wednesday fan,
I'd rather be them.
I'd rather be them. This is the whole thing about expectations. I was reading about Danny Rowell getting pelters from Rangers fans because they drew with Celtic, right? Bear in mind, when he took over, they were near relegation and they're giving him pelters because he didn't beat Celtic. And you just think, mates, come on. It's just... Stop being a football fan and think more. Let's just take the fact. Also, as well, it's not going to be a quick flip. Whoever takes us is probably going to want to sell us at some point. It's not going to be a quick flip because there's a shitload of investment that needs to go into the training ground, the stadium, and the team. You're going to be looking, are we going to go, the 15-point deduction may or may not happen, or we could probably negotiate it to be less because it's not set in stone that you give you 15 points. It's down to discretion of the EFL, right? So
they're pricks, though, aren't they? So
they are. Well, they'll be afraid of upsetting somebody else. They'll be afraid of who's the guy who owned Middlesbrough, who always hated us.
Steve Gibson.
Steve Gibson, was moaning about all the money we were spending. And then he was moaning about all the money we were spending on players, and then sold us Adam Reach for $4 million. Hang on, can't be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But we get him 10 for Jordan Rose, didn't we? So yeah.
Well,
Let's not fart around the pub.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what. Let me just go through a couple of comments here because there's some good ones here. We've got a suggestion for Ash talking to the people. We call it Ashley on Ashley, and because nobody else has won anything recently under the Mike Ashley years, and Newcastle have just won a League Cup, we could call it 2 Ash 1 Cup. We could go with that. Matt Ward has gone with Ashley fucked over Rangers, from what I heard, and then Matt Johnson has just reminded us. He said he bought Coventry Stadium from under Doug King's nose for 70 million, jacked the rent, and sold it back to the club for double 40. The Coventry fans might not be as complimentary about it, but I'm sure Doug King was keeping it from the club. I think he helped the club get it back, albeit at a greatly inflated price. You know what I mean? There's a mixed reception there. So let's do
it. If Mike Ashley took over, would we be in a better place than if we are now?
Yeah, if we're charging Coventry City 40 million quid for whatever they want, and you went back to Sheffield Wednesday, I'll be all right with it. Morals on the floor. You know what I mean? It's all Newcastle to some Saudi Arabian oil barons. Like, you know what I mean? Did that secure the future of Newcastle? Yeah, it did. I might have to shelve a few self beliefs, but I think what keeps us going on this show is our strong moral compass. But I feel that might get called into action a little bit. Tell us about some charity stuff, Ash.
on the last word from me for Mike Ashley, I suppose he's going to be good for Sheffield Wednesday. But anyone in it at the minute, I think we just need somebody. But I'm glad that the process is taking so long to get the Weedle out the thing. I did ask a question on our community chat thing. It was like, the process of the fit and proper owners directors. Can you go through that even though you're not buying a club? So like this.
Did you want to get your account sorted out, Ash, or something?
Yeah, no, I've got a good accountant. He's not too shabby actually. He's not Chancery's account, obviously, because I'd be locked up. But it's all right. But do you know what I mean? So if like the Storch family or another bidder that was in the bidding,
can you
before,
get pre-approved?
Can you get pre-approved?
We know DBS check. Like a DBS check,
Yeah, but I don't do
that junk mail that comes through
anyway.
and it says you've been pre-approved for a $2,000 capital on credit card and 49% APR.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking because I know that the administrator said the process is not starting again. They're not going right back to the beginning. But
no,
I know Ashley is obviously he'd probably sail through because he's owned a football club before and. Obviously that, but like other people, like the Storch family, or if it's the Waltons, or if it's the geezer from Sheffield who mouths off, Richards? Could they have been like you're right, Dana? You put it pre-approved. I don't know if you can go through that process without being in the process of buying a club.
I wonder. I mean, on the back of that, Ash, Paul the Astronomy House just asked, could the club come back in with a lower offer, or would the admin say no? I don't know if they get to choose. It could be a lower offer, but it's got to be higher than everybody else's. But let me just get some housekeeping in order. But in the meantime, that was tonight's Hot Topic. So, as we discussed earlier on, Alex Miller, Psycho Miller, has done a load of articles based on a 61-page report that was put out earlier this week, and it goes into a lot of what we've spoken about this evening in terms of the loan and whether Sheffield Wednesday are culpable for it, and why the loan was turned down, why the board bid was turned down and all the rest of it. Alex has done some top journalism there. Fair play to him. And then he had a load of fireballs with Holly on Sunday night at the Barry Bannon thing list that yesterday evening, which I am still suffering from really bad FOMO. Ashley, can we do some charity nice things, please?
We haven't got any, mate. I mentioned the Easter egg thing. That's about it for us.
Let's talk about it again.
Yeah. Tuesday the 10th of March is the next one. Come and see us outside the Megastore from probably about 6 o'clock, something like that. And then the last one is the home game against Ipswich, 14th of March. Please come and donate if you can, or if you just want to come and chat shit with us for half an hour, then you're more than welcome. Thank you very much.
Okay, I've got to let Charlie go, so I've got to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I appreciate you stealing your living room for this evening. Have you got company round again, and we're keeping them out the living room? Why do people keep coming around your house at 9 o'clock at night? It's dead weird.
It's the same geezer who falls out with his missus.
Is it?
Yeah.
We don't watch the show, isn't it?
Oh, it actually is. Brilliant.
We ought to have advice. Send your comments in with advice for Chaz's mate. Yeah.
Please don't do that.
Chaz is going to pop out. Chaz is going to come back on Twitter later on tonight, boys and girls, and she's going to be like Dear Deirdre, but it's going to be like Cheers Chaz, and she's going to put out some
Please don't bring me your problems.
which may or may
Please
not
don't
be
bring me your
related
problems.
to the issue that she's got to deal with this evening.
It's bad enough people bring me their penises in my DMs. Don't bring me your problems as well. Please don't do that. Just keep all of the above to yourselves. Thank you so
gave
much.
it a thumbs up. I thought you liked it.
I
was squinting. That's what I was doing.
No, it was a size comparison. Not And if you're listening, it's _ Charlie the Poo.
Stop it.
Twitter. So there you go.
Get involved.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, when are we going to get cancelled, man?
Well, honestly, I've been trying for 15 years, lads. I don't know what.
Can we have some decent football and it'll just stop?
Yeah.
going
Oh,
off,
yeah.
please?
Yeah. We'll shout out Sheffield Wednesday and the players. Please give us something else to talk about apart from Dan's micro penis and. I don't know.
Somehow, I don't think that's good. That's going to make it into the credit sash. I don't.
Damn.
Don't edit that out. Anyway, I gotta go.
Yeah.
All right. See you later. Night, everybody.
later.
See you later. Bye.
Every week, live from 8 p.m. It's the Wednesday Week. Bringing you football analysis.
But he said we'll win the league next season.
Bringing you modern references.
I did a little 1920s fist pump there. Not done that in a while.
If we could do just a 1-to-1, not me because it'd last 7 days apparently, like Craig David.
I should not have said that. I should not have said that.
This shows like you're mental. No, I'm not.
Clip that.
Bringing you terrible impressions.
Wibble, wobble, wobbly, wobbly, wibble, wobble, Simon Jordan. When, hey, you got to play a 4-4-2. She. I don't know where these jokes are coming from.
Available on all social medias.
Obviously, this goes out on YouTube and as well as all the other social media out there, podcasts, etc.
The award-winning Wednesday Week. Join us.
Put on your pod